And Lamar Jackson is constantly quieting the critics. It is a perfect marriage.
We're not putting Lamar Jackson in the same conversation as a Brady, a Manning, a Kurt, some of the best quarterbacks who've ever played the game. And Lamar, I think he's silenced all that. Like, he hears all the noise, but I think he just uses it as fuel and as motivation.
It feels like offense, defense, special teams, a complete effort for this Ravens squad, but it all starts on the offensive side with Lamar Jackson.
The Baltimore Ravens keep proving week after week that they are the most dominant team in the NFL. And after whooping up on the San Francisco 49ers and then the Miami Dolphins in back-to-back weeks, there is just no answer for this team. And Lamar Jackson has solidified himself as the MVP if what he has done before this game wasn't enough already. It truly has been incredible to watch him develop as a player, because just a few years ago, he faced so much criticism and people would call him a running back, but now he's one of the best passers in the league on top of his decision making and rushing abilities. So basically, he's the all-in-one package. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about Baltimore's beatdown on the Dolphins, kind of recapping what a year it's been for them now that they have officially won the AFC North and clinched the 1 seed, and also talking about what they have to do to win the Super Bowl. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 20k subscribers, and your support truly does mean the world. Alright, so starting off, I gotta talk more about Lamar Action Jackson, because he threw for 321 yards with 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Just incredible. And like I said, he is the MVP, and he's a one-of-a-kind player. This offense has just been so unstoppable, and they gotta be feeling pretty good about themselves as they just beat some of the best teams in the league in convincing fashion over the last few weeks. To get into a quick recap of the game, the Dolphins actually started out pretty fast out the gate and scored a touchdown to Cedric Wilson Jr. in just a few plays. But Baltimore themselves answered that score with a touchdown of their own pretty fast, with Justice Hill taking one in for 20 yards. The Dolphins went back on top with a Jason Sanders field goal to make it 10-7, and then after this, it was pretty much all Baltimore. Gus Edwards rushed to the right to punch one in, then Lamar threw a bomb, and Zay Flowers put on a few nice moves to score a 75-yard touchdown, then Lamar passed to Isaiah Likely for a 35-yard touchdown. And before you knew it, it was 28-3. And the second half wasn't any better. Isaiah Likely scored another touchdown, and then the Ravens absolutely exploded for 56 points. And it wasn't all offense. The defense made some great plays, and I'm going to talk about them later. According to John Harbaugh in the post-game press conference, he hasn't seen a more impressive performance this season to date. As this team looks ahead to the postseason, they will definitely be resting starters next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they will play the winner of whoever the Cleveland Browns face. And honestly, if I was a Ravens fan, I'd be rooting for whoever the Browns are facing, because I just feel like Cleveland is built for this team defensively, and they have already proved that they can beat them in the last game they played, and that was with Deshaun Watson on a broken shoulder. But I'm also a Browns fan myself, so I definitely am biased. And let me know in the comments below how you guys are feeling about having to potentially face playoff Flacco, because I am so curious about how you guys are feeling about that scenario. Anyways, getting back on track, this season has truly meant something special for Baltimore, and really, outside of a few blunders, they have whooped up on everyone. And the team got to celebrate the clinching win in the locker room after the game, and not only did Harbaugh join in on the celebration, which effectively turned into a little dance party, but he completely stole the show. Alright, now I want to move on and talk about some of the playmakers for this team, because many of them are super underrated and don't get talked about enough. Starting off with Zay Flowers, he was of course drafted before this season, and really, he was one of the more hyped receivers around coming out of Boston College, and he was expected to fill the role of Marquise Brown. He kind of started out the season a bit slow, but you could tell the talent was there. But now he's making big plays game after game, and the moves he put on during that 75-yard touchdown were pretty impressive. And another guy out of the backfield that has really stood out to me the past few weeks is Justice Hill. He's just so fast and explosive. Against the Dolphins, he averaged 16 yards per carry, and I just feel like he's going to find a way to be a big factor in the playoffs. Also, another guy I gotta talk about going back to the receiving unit is OBJ, because although his production has kind of been scattered all season, when his team needs a big play and the ball is thrown up to him, he always finds a way to make an unbelievable catch, and he has done that throughout his whole entire career. Switching over to the defensive side of things, their performance kinda got overlooked today because of the domination put on by Lamar Jackson and the offense, but they definitely played very solid, and holding the Dolphins to just 19 is not a small feat, especially considering how much they were up by, because Tua of course had to throw the ball the entire second half, and they shut it down. And if the defense can play this well with how the offense is performing, then this team will be in Vegas by February. And this is going to be an anxious few weeks for the Ravens and their fans, because they really won't play for a month. Yeah, they face the Steelers next week, but nobody is going to play in that game. And I'm actually curious if they will play some of the guys just to stay in rhythm. As I look back at this year for Baltimore, they actually played a very difficult schedule overall, and they were tested so many times, and because of that, they have one of the best resumes in the league, and have pretty much beat everyone. Like, they've already beat most of the playoff bracket, and they have so many ways to win. If you shut down the passing game, Lamar can take off with his legs. If you shut down Lamar's rushing ability, which is pretty much impossible to do, then somebody is going to be open. And the actual rushing game in terms of the backs has picked up their play as well. I just can't believe we are already at this point in the season, and man, I can't wait for the playoffs, because this could be one of the most fun and wild years ever. I just really don't think there's anyone that can compete with the Ravens right now, but my theory will soon be put to the test. They just have so many weapons all throughout the roster, and with the play of Lamar Jackson, nobody wants to deal with them. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly means the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, since there's just so much to talk about across the league right now. And until then, I will see you all later.